Hi everybody, my name is Shilpi Kapoor. I run a company called Barrier Break Technologies. But before I tell you a little more about what we do, I'd like people in this room to get a little active. So if everybody who's wearing specs, can you please raise your hands? Thank you. That's more than 50% of this room is wearing specs, right? The segment I take care of is people with impairment and disability, right? 50% of you in this room fall in that category. You might not be disabled, but you have an impairment for which you need specs, and you go to a doctor and you get a number and you get corrective glasses. Yet, nowhere in the conversation do we hear of people with disabilities or their needs being catered. Whether it is e-learning, whether it's the classroom, whether it is health, whether it is ICT and e-governance websites that are coming up. So what I'd like to do is actually take very little of your time, just about 5 minutes, but I'd like to open your eyes to the idea that starting with education, how can we make education inclusive? We do have a Right to Education Act, which does now include persons with disabilities. But where are those children? Are they in the classroom? Are we giving them an equal opportunity? Today, everybody is talking about ICT and how ICT can change education. But the moment you put in that ICT, is there ICT that a blind person can use in that school? Is there a screen reader or a braille displayer available for him? Is that textbook that he's being given available to him as a digital talking book so he can study, or is available in large print, or is available in braille available to him? And technology can do all of this. I no longer need a person sitting with a braille pin and actually writing braille. A braille printer or a braille embosser can actually revolutionize this. I can take an electronic textbook and convert it. But do we have this in our classrooms? Are they there in our schools? Are they there in our universities? We're talking about creating, using ICT, but while we're using ICT, we are creating barriers for different types of people. A very simple one that I can see when I get into most schools or most colleges is today, every university is going on record and saying, or every college says, our curriculum is on the website, you can register with us online. And that entire interface is not disabled friendly. Today, the Maharashtra state e-governance policy states that every website or every e-governance policy, e-governance site needs to be accessible to persons with disabilities. But are we doing that at every point of time? Are we doing that in our education? And if we are not, how can we change that? It's not only about the visually impaired. It's about all kinds of disabilities. 1 in 7 children actually have a learning impairment in the country. 1 in 7. Probably somebody in your house also does. You might have somebody who's a slow learner, but we're ignoring all of these concepts. And in doing that, we're actually ignoring 70 million disabled in this country. I'd like to see Maharashtra actually take that on. I'd like to see Maharashtra actually be the state to actually take knowledge to people with disabilities. My company is based in Maharashtra, and that's where I'd like to see change happen from. With that, all I'd like to say is please check out our website. It's barrierbreak.com. There's a lot to talk about from us, but instead of talking about it here, I'd like to invite you to something that IT Secretary Mr. Rajesh Agarwal has very nicely put together with us. We're doing a Global Accessibility Awareness Day on May 9th at the same venue. And I'd like to see more IT companies, more corporates, more government officials there to get aware about what are the needs of persons with disabilities. So with that, I'll close. And I'd leave you with the thought that what are you doing for people with disabilities in your organization, whether it's IT, whether it's government, whether it's ICT. And I would love to approach Dr. Abheva at some point and see what we can really do about this in our state. Thank you.